This is James Lupton, delighted to be joined with Carl Davies. Carl, mate, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, good. Thank you, mate. Very good. Thanks for joining me again. It's been a while since we last spoke. We were just talking off record there about your news. Purse bids, I should find out this weekend. Area title fight coming up for yourself. How's that feel? Title fight?
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad it's finally come. It's what I've been working towards. I've been having all these bouts and experience, and now we've got I feel like a bit of recognition to get made mandatory, and hopefully, I can go do the business and then push on again, push on to the next bout, the next target.
You say they've been obviously working towards this, and every fighter's dream is to go and fight for titles. And we spoke before a few times. You've always said to me, that domestic route is something that you're looking at, and this one's the first one on the step there, that area title. You mentioned their recognition. What does that mean to you to get this recognition so early in your career to get a title fight?
Yeah, it's good. I've been ranked 14th now. It's just feeling a bit like it's actually starting to take off, from being down in the rankings, not having many bouts, and now being on 7-0. And, people actually seeing, this guy deserves a chance at the title. And I'm just going to take it with both hands and then show why, I can push on as well. So it's just pushed me on even more than I was.
Those in the boxing gyms and those who see you behind closed doors, they know what you're about and they give you recognition. We spoke before about Bud and McGirt complimenting you in the gym. And, these are people who have been in boxing, massive boxing brains and been in the game a long, long time. Now it's time for the fans and everyone else to see and give you that recognition, starting with these titles. One thing I want to come on to was I mentioned recognition in the gyms. You seem to be the busiest light heavyweight at sparring. Every time I go on Instagram, you're sparring somebody new. From your Dan Aziz's, your Anthony Yards, your Ben Whitakers, which we'll come on to. Just again, just tell us about that recognition and getting those guys to give you a call and saying, listen, come and give me some rounds, give me some work. And what's that like for you from your perspective?
Yeah, it's good. I started off by sparring just because of the lack of experience I've had, with the amateurs, and I'm certainly I've only had 14 bouts in my whole life, amateur and pro. So, we started off getting the sparring, and then it just spiraled, we're up and down everywhere, getting asked, I get asked personally now, instead of us asking for the work. And yeah, I've actually moved down a weight now, but sparring these light heavyweights that much, I'm kind of used to it. So, if anybody like ever needs any rounds, it's good it's much help for them as it is for me as well. It's pushed me on loads more than I can imagine. And I'm just happy that, we keep getting asked back, and obviously people are finding it beneficial.
What's that like for you? Because these are guys who are further down the line in their career than you are. You're 7-0. These guys are, champions, been fighting for
Yeah.
titles, even fighting for world titles in the likes of Anthony Yard. And they're asking you to come give them rounds and they're finding it beneficial. What about yourself? Because surely there's no better work for you than sparring these guys.
Oh no, these are all people that I used to watch on TV or watch on YouTube as an amateur, thinking, oh, I'd love to be there. And then now I'm getting in doing, 6, 8, 10, 12 rounds, whatever it is on the day. We're getting in doing it, and coming out learning something and just getting better every time. So it is a weird feeling, but I'm used to it now. I'm used to getting there, forgetting about all that and just going in and doing the business for what they need and what I need to improve and make it all worthwhile.
What's the one thing you would say that stands out to you that you've taken away from a sparring session with whoever it may be, whether it be the fighter or their coach?
I just found that always, it's always about business. There's no messing around because you've got someone, I've been 3-0, 2-0 sparring, but that doesn't matter to them. They're always on top game. And that's, I think, is something I've taken that every session I've seen them. And even when I've just seen them warming up, it's always proper, done right. And, it's serious time then. And then after you talk and have a joke. And I think that's one thing that, they're all focused and not taking any sparring partner lightly, or they'll get the business, they'll get the job done, and then yeah, move on.
Do you think that's something you'll take for the rest of your career? And then let's say in, 15, 20 fights time when you've got the young prospects coming and sparring you, that you'll teach them and pass on what you've been learning from these guys now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we've got our own gym now, and I join in with the white collars, and I'm not saying that, but I'm still, working on something. It's not just to move. Like I'm working on whether it's footwork, defense, I'm making sure that however long the training is valuable and I'm not just wasting it.
Mentioned Ben Whittaker. I want to speak to him a little bit more in depth today. So I think he's probably one of the most recent spars you've had, but it's of course his fight week as well. He's fighting at Selhurst Park this weekend. He seems to be a very awkward fighter to fight against. Is he the same in sparring?
Yeah, he's that same. You get glimpses of, the showboat, and then you get the serious box. He can box, obviously being an Olympic silver medalist. So I always find it real beneficial. I took a lot from the sparring, whether it's to deal with someone showboating, how you should react, and also, the way you do stuff as well. So I always enjoy going down the spar, and it's always a good experience every single time.
I was going to ask you, do you sort of find that good for you as well, beneficial for you when he is showboating against you? Because as you mentioned there, you know how to react to it a little bit, I suppose.
Oh yeah, definitely it brings out the character in me though. I'll have if I slip a punch, I'll have a little move about. It brings out a side of me that also not everyone's got to see. I do like a little show, but when you can, within reason. So I enjoy it. It's fun. I have fun in there, and I think the sports are obviously beneficial with the amount of times I've been down there. Yeah, it's good. And it's nice to express yourself as well as someone else expressing themselves.
It's quite interesting to get that point of view because a lot of people feel like he's taking liberties a lot of time against his opponents and taking a piss out of them at times. But it is, I suppose, entertainment for the fans. And like you said there, it's just him being himself and expressing himself because he does it in sparring as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's just the way he boxes. It's just him. You couldn't take that away. And I think it's unfair to say that he's doing it to take the mix because that is just how he boxes. So if you slip five and you punch in a row, then because anybody would have a little move, or it's just a boxer. Different boxers react differently to doing different stuff, and that's just what he's good at.
For you, is that good because that side of it, you get the entertaining, you get the character of him. But you mentioned a moment ago about the business, you're in there to do a job. You seem to get a nice mix of both sort of sides of the coin there. Is that good for you?
Oh yeah, he's definitely because then you get I learn a lot from the boxing side as well. It gives me both sides. You never know which one you're going to get and which round. Some rounds you might come out behind the stiff jab. Some rounds you might be moving, using the feet. So it's good for me because I get all different styles in one spar.
Do you think that Ben Whittaker and his boxing ability and skills get underrated or forgotten about because of his entertaining antics?
Yeah, maybe, but definitely, I think everybody does. I think people who just watch him from the sideline, you know, you need to get in there because everyone that I've heard, people say, "Oh, he's not too good at that." I've never seen it in sparring sometimes, and I think everyone's a lot better than everyone gives credit for. I think this, people do probably focus on that, showboating over the actual boxing, and I don't know. I think the more we boxes, the more people will get to see both sides of it. So I think it'll just come in time, like with everyone. You know, people are sometimes too quick to judge either way. You've got to let someone develop and keep fighting so you can make a proper opinion.
With Ben Whittaker, he's sort of at the early stage of his career, like yourself, and the other guys you've sparred, Anthony Yard, Dan Aziz, they've, at the world level almost, they're pushing on at that. They've been through their career, they've worked their way up the ladder. How far can Ben Whittaker go, in your opinion?
I think all the way, as long as it's all done right, as long as everything is correct and everything can't go right all the time. But definitely the work rate, the dedication, the skill is all there. It's just hopefully it can have, everything plays out right in the career.
Who would you say's been your toughest spar?
They're all different. Everyone's different in all different ways. Honestly, I can't say, like if you gave me a name, I could tell you what was so good about them. They all give me something different every single time. I think it'd be hard to, say one was better than the other or one was harder than the other because different stuff I struggle with more than maybe someone else.
Well,
So
let's do
yeah,
it. Let's go. That's three names I've mentioned. Then let's say Ben Whittaker. What does he do best, in your opinion?
that boxing distance, his distance is really like, is where he is in the ring, the skills, the defense.
Does he hit hard as well?
if you let him hit the yard, yeah, he can. It, or, he varies up. That's what's good as well. It's not everything the same amount of punch. Something can come quick and then something hard behind. So I think that's something else as well that people are yet to see. It can vary.
What about Dan Aziz? What's his best asset that you've seen?
He's got really good work rate, Dan has, especially being low, he moves his head well, so it gives you kind of difference. He's a lot good at inside work, he had a defence I've not seen before with that cross guard in front of his face. I've seen a lot of older fighters do that. I've never even seen that. So that was something completely new.
I think that's the Buddy McGirt effect. That is.
I'd never seen it before. I was lucky not punch elbows, you have to adjust to that, but once he's mastered that down, it is effective.
Is that something that throws you off when it is? Is it purely because it's so different and not really that common no more?
Yeah, no, it's something different because, you throw hooks at it and you're hitting elbows and you don't want to hit elbows. He's covering both sides of the face. You've just got to find a way to adapt to that. And especially if people have never seen it before, if that's the first time and you've only got that wow of around 10, 12 rounds of your boxing to adjust, it can be an issue.
I know he's of course fighting on the same card as Ben Whittaker as well. Dan Aziz there on Saturday night. And what about Anthony Yard? What's his best attributes and assets that you've seen in the gym?
Oh, it's just explosive. He'll full of explosives and everything. He can go from one pace to the other pace, and it's just defense as well. He's hard to hit. Very hard to. He's fast on the counters.
Absolutely. And just finally, just swing it back around to yourself again, Carl, for the last question. We mentioned obviously purse bids, title fight coming up. Just tell us a little bit about that. You mentioned there about going down a weight. So is it down at super
Yes,
middle?
it's down the middle this time. Yeah, we're gonna make super middle for because while I can make it, I'm just gonna make that weight and I'll put myself in a position for the area title at that weight. So it's now just gone to purchase and hopefully someone bids or we sort it out between ourselves. It should be by October at the latest. It's for
Why the decision now to come down in weight to super middleweight?
just because I could make it. I could make the weight, so I thought I'd maximise myself at the weight. I made light heavyweight comfy on the day weight, and so I thought I may as well just move down. And I just saw opportunities at that weight as well for the position I was in. The title become, there was a place for someone to be mandatory. So I boxed at super middle to make sure, they knew I could make the weight and hopefully put me mandatory. And that's what happens. And now I'm ranked 14th there.
Do you feel you're going to be far too big and too strong for a lot of your opponents at that weight?
Yeah, and I just think I've got, on the other side as well, I've got the skill as well. I'm just hoping everything in my favour is now maximised out. I can box it like I spar them all and I feel fine. But like I said, I can then use maybe some of the weight that they have on me now down at super middle while I can. In a few years if I have to move up, then I can also move up then.
And mentioned obviously he's gone to Perspid at top fight. Who would it be against?
Liam O'Hare it is.
Never heard. What
Yeah.
do you know of him? Is he somebody that you sort of had your eye on? Or is it because now you've just come down to super middleweight? It just came out of the blue, really?
I actually watched him to win the title. Actually, he was the fight after me on my fourth bout. He boxed a lad that I'd done some sparring with, so my eyes weren't on him until I spoke to a lad I was sparring and said that's who he's fighting for the title, and then I saw him win it, and then I didn't necessarily watch it and think, oh, I'm going to go for that title. I would have took the super middleweight, whoever had it. It just happened that Liam is the champion at that weight, so I've seen bits, but I'll leave it up to Joe to, to put the tactics together, and I just do the training and the fighting for me.
That's it. He does, yeah, and what you do the fighting.
Yeah, that's it. I listen to what he says and I do it as best as I can.
Perfect. Well, Carl, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck for that. Hopefully, it gets announced soon, and hopefully, get a date in the diary.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Top man.
Nice one. See you in a bit.